What is up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video where today I'm be taking you through one of the most powerful Ultra League teams I have found. I did not think of this team myself. I actually got this team from the young trainer Weedle, one of the best players in the world, Seniors Division World Champion last year, and looking to potentially go for the Masters Division World Championship this year. But I saw him tweet that he was at a really high elo, much higher than yours truly, and I was like, hey man, wink wink, like, what team you running? And he told me this was the team he was running. So I don't mean to spoil your team, Weedle, but you know, I think there's a small percentage of players watching this video that are in your elo range. Granted, he's like one of the highest elo players right now in GBL, so hopefully he's okay with it. Shout out to Weedle. But the team is Cresselia, Virizion, and Swampert. If you have Shadow Swampert, I'm sure that's fine as well. Probably one of the more accessible teams for people to use here. And also Cresselia non-legacy running Future Sight here. Otherwise, Charizard would be pretty problematic as a lead. But Future Sight Cresselia can really hold its own against Charizard. I decided to just let Cresselia go down and collect both shields here. We're actually able to call a Poison Fang. Opponent swaps Scrafty. I'm going to swap in Virizion since I have a pretty hard check. And there's not a whole lot of things that Swampert can't beat when it has a 2-shield advantage. So I'm feeling pretty good about this situation. We just got to be careful in handling that Nidoqueen. Don't want to allow it to do too much damage to us. Scrafty can only just pup here. Of course, Foul Play would be resisted. I decided to throw this so I don't have to take another power-up punch. This way I keep a little bit more health. I still have a Leaf Blade ready to fire. It is the Nidoqueen. I decided to just throw it immediately so I can dip out into Swampert. I dip out, and he throws a move. I know this is just a Fang. I'm a little bit concerned if it's like something with heavy fast move pressure in the back, but luckily it's an Obstagoon. I go for the Earthquake here because I want to get off maximum damage before a potential Obstruct debuffs me. However, I believe I had double Hydro there, so I could have actually double Hydroed, and the second one would have CMP'd on the Obstruct, so that probably would have been the better play. But instead, I decided to go for double Earthquake. And is this going to be enough? It is. Nidoqueen is still there, but our Mud Shots results in a simul KO. Virizion still lurking in the back. So we get a nice win to start things off. And yeah, this team put me on a 14-game winning streak spanning over the course of 2 days on stream. I ended with a 5-0 one set with this team, and then I had like a 5-0 4-1 or something like that. So a 14-game winning streak with this squad. And some of you may be thinking, Rise, this team is so weak to Trevenant. What are you doing against Trevenant? You try your best, bro. Trevenant is definitely very difficult for this team. It's going to be a tough game to win. But Trevenant's not as common as it used to be. And I don't know if it's in this video, but we actually did beat a Trevenant lead. So stay tuned for that, because it might be in this video. Opponent swaps Nidoqueen, and I go for the Future Sight here. Will they shield it? They will not. And then we swap in Swampert. I throw Hydro on CMP with a potential Earth Power here. Hydro connects. Does Scrafty come back in, or does he reveal the third Pokemon? He reveals Jellicent, and here I'm feeling like we're in a great spot because Virizion kind of core breaks the Jelly and the Scrafty, so I really don't even need to commit any shields here. I can just save shields for my Virizion. Verizon Wireless, as I like to call them, and we're in a pretty comfortable situation. Just going for the EQ. I thought about shielding just because I had so much energy, but I'm like, nah. Put it all on Virizion. Will the opponent even stay in to play this out? Let's see. He does. He catches the Leaf Blade on Scrafty. Very nice. But we're just in a really commanding spot here because Leaf Blade's still a pretty strong move. Going to still chunk the Scrafty, get it into around Sacred Sword range. And I'm just throwing here. Credit to the opponent, fighting till the bitter end. But this one is all over. And there we go. He exits. Let me know in the comments what teams have you guys been running, whether it's the Ultra League or the single type cup, any Pokemon that you guys are loving, any Pokemon you want me to try out, or team recommendations. It's always nice to see what you guys are running, and I'm always open to team suggestions. A lot of the teams I show you guys, I get from people in chat. I'd say that it's more often, as we see a Charizard leader, it's more often I'm trying a team that someone suggested than I'm figuring out a team for myself. I do figure out my own teams as well. I feel like that's usually what I do best in the Go Battle League, is if I kind of just read the meta and come up with something, cook up something, as the kids say. But oftentimes I'm kind of taking inspiration from others as well. And there's nothing wrong with that, as we're staying in this lead here. Of course, Virizion has to avoid Charizard, so we're just staying in here, hoping to land a future sight, and we do. That's really good for me. That's really good for me, because now I can actually go for an aggressive Mud Shot down with Swampert if he lets me. And yeah, he's staying in, so he probably has one Swampert response. So we're going to take a Blast Burn here, or actually it's just a Dragon Claw. And we're going to have all this energy. It's a Venusaur, so this is not looking good. But we do get off an Earthquake. Venusaur's at 2 Vine Whips. We swap, and he is staying in, which tells us whatever's in the back might be soft to Virizion. I'm hoping it's a Swampert. I throw my Sacred Sword after 1 for proper timing. This could also be a Stone Edge, so could garner a shield from the opponent. It does garner a shield. Since I don't have Stone Edge, I'm just going for this. Virizion is bulky enough where it should be able to live a Sludge Bomb. So I know I can tank this, but the problem is it's going to leave me relatively low. Hopefully it's a Swampert in the back. It's not a Swampert, it's an Obstagoon, but this is pretty good too. Sacred Sword connects. We swap into our Swampert, and we're 4 away. So he's going to get there first, but Swampert will be able to live this Night Slash. This is the Ultra League. And I just throw it instantly because I know that Venusaur is really low. So I just want to get off as much fast move, as many mud shots as I can in a rare situation where a Swampert knocks out a Venusaur. There we go, yeah. This team, man, it doesn't make a ton of sense on paper, but it kind of does. And it's been working pretty well. Drapion, excuse me. I go straight into Virizion since it's more of my soft counter. Normally Swampert acts as the safe swap, I would say. But here Virizion is the safe swap. I do decide to shield up what could be a Sludge Bomb here. It is a Sludge Bomb. Opponent tries to catch, and they probably assumed that I don't have Leaf Blade. Otherwise, yeah, this catch I don't think was the right play from the opponent. I think they were better off just staying in. Because now I'm going to spam off these Leaf Blades. I get off another one before they've even thrown their Moonblast. Am I about to get both shields? I am. And then I just decide to swap into Cress. Cress is dead weight anyway against the Drapion. So I'm just going to keep my Virizion around. He clearly didn't have a hard response. And I get this off, and of course, Drapion, I know, is going to be tough for Cress. I'm going to be locked in, but now I'm up a shield. I still have 2 relatively healthy Pokemon in the back. I should live this and get off the Moonblast. Cress is very bulky, as we know. Takes the crunch. Opponent catches on Swampert. Nice play by them, but I'm not too concerned. Because even if I get Mud Shot down here, which is unfortunate, I still have Virizion. And I know I can even take an Earthquake from this range, so I decided just to no shield. And that was probably the right play by the opponent. Go for the EQ. Just hoping it knocks out, but it doesn't. Leaf Blade, bop. Swap in, we're up a shield. And not a whole lot Mr. Drapion can do here. Drapion's going to throw the crunch, though. Oh no, will we get debuffed? We don't. Oh, I think I start trolling here. Shoot. Don't do this, kids. Have good sportsmanship. I go up to 100 energy, and then I Earthquake on CMP. Was that necessary? No. Did we do it anyway? We did. Next battle. Looks like there was some Q times or something there. I guess our elo's not even that high, so. That's been happening to me lately, is like the Q times are like bad, even though I'm not even like leaderboard elo right now. Don't know what's up with that. So this is a bad looking situation, of course. We got hard checked in the lead. Cresselia versus Sandslash. We swapped Swampert. I didn't think I was going to reach that EQ, so I just settled for the Hydro here. Yeah, I didn't live the Psycho Cut. So at this point in the game, we're in a pretty bad spot, right? The only saving grace we could potentially have is if the opponent is ABA weak to Virizion, which is possible. There are a lot of teams that seem to be ABA weak to Virizion. So I know that my Cresselia is kind of dead weight against the Sandslash anyway, so I'm just going to take all these moves here. Not going to bother expending a shield. Does Crest get to another move? It does. That's unfortunate, but I'm still going to let it go. We get to bank a move for later. Could be useful in the end game. We swap, and he's staying in, which tells me this could still be possible. I shield up an Ice Punch, thinking I'm going to have to shield eventually, and it's a Swampert in the back. And this is suddenly what looked like a really bad situation now has become a solid-looking situation. Our opponent actually top lefts. Isn't that crazy? Hard counter lead, hard counter swap, but our back Pokemon was a complete core breaker. So what looked to be a bad situation actually ends up in our opponent top lefting. Funny how that works, man. That's why you don't top left, you don't quit till it's legitimately over. So like if you get hard countered in lead, hard countered in swap, might be frustrating, but I would try and see it through until there truly is no longer a win condition, because you never know what's going to be in the back. Crest into Swampert. He swaps Coffin. I don't have an obvious answer to Coffin, so a little bit awkward. I Moonblast, and then I go Swamp. The problem here is Hydro Cannon isn't quite going to KO, so I decided to shield up the first, thinking since I'm still fully healthy, he probably goes for the Shadow Ball. I CMP with Earthquake, because I feel like Earthquake should knock out from here, and it does. So correct call there to go for the Earthquake, and this is pretty good for us because his Swampert's going to have to take a few Hydros or shield to get rid of our Swampert. We're at back-to-back right here. Let's see if our opponent decides to shield. They do. Back-to-back and CMPs. That's like best case scenario for us. Winning the CMP. We can let Swampy go down at this point. I decided to come in with Virizion. Oh, he actually undercharged. Smart. Oh, no, I don't come with Virizion. I guess I didn't want to reveal my last Pokemon yet, and it worked out. This is just a pretty RPS game. We don't have Grass Knot on Cresselia, so Swampert can actually make that matchup uncomfortable for Cresselia. Swampert might even win that matchup, to be honest, when Cresselia does not have Grass Knot. But we're in a pretty comfortable position here. We actually called the Zap Cannon first, which makes this even a little bit more comfortable, I think, because now we can live a Focus Blast. Should be able to live this. I might try and like double up. Oh no, I just throw Red away because I didn't want him to like catch a Sacred Sword on Swampert and dance around. And then I anticipate his swap. Oh, I guess it wouldn't have mattered, right? If he got a Sacred Sword, that probably would have KO'd anyway. Future Sight, Bop. And Cresselia, just too intimidating for the Registeel. He had to leave. Let's go. Wow, we're at almost the 15-minute mark. This video has been flying by for me. Next battle. Who shall it be? Who dares to challenge? The Delibird gloves. I did actually change. If you guys watch me on stream today, I'll be streaming today. I changed the Delibird gloves for some Obstagoon gloves. I'm becoming like, I don't know. I'm diversifying my outfits in the game. Golisopod is a bit of a core breaker for our team. Swampert has to avoid Golisopod. Swampert would really struggle here. Cresselia doesn't do great either. But I land the Future Sight before he threw energy. So I decided, like, I'm just going to dip out, dance around. Landing that Future Sight is huge because now Golisopod's almost in, like, Hydro Cannon range. And him staying in here tells me that he probably doesn't have a strong answer to the Virizion. I abandoned throwing on good timing. I just want to get rid of this thing. Not let him get off a third X-Scissor against me. He lets it go. In comes Walrein. And this is pretty good, man. This is pretty dang good. Virizion's got that little smirk on his face. Lands the Leaf Blade. I decide to shield, I think. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Swampert, Crest just cover each other quite well, so... And then there's a G-Fiskin back, so we're in a pretty dominant-looking position here. One advantage to running normal Swampert over Shadow is the added bulk, so, like, Earthquake really isn't that threatening here. So I'm just going to let it go, because even if it is an Earthquake, I know I can survive, and I'm not even in Rock Slide range after the Earthquake, so... Just pretty dang comfortable, like you're in a lazy boy recliner, watching some Sunday football. I kind of lost track. Yeah, he probably had the energy for Earthquake there, since it was about the same time as a third Hydro. And then I just kind of anticipate the catch there, so... Those are the nice little plays I like, because even though this game was relatively... Well, I guess it wasn't RPS, because we had a bad lead. But we were able to dance around, and he didn't really have a good answer for Virizion. So that anticipating the swap there, I thought was just a little bit of a nice play. A nice call. And we get the dub. Should have like 2 or 3 more battles. Who is next? Gulf Stream. Okay. Solid lead. They usually swap out because they expect us to have Grass Knot. In comes Golisopod. I decided to stay into Moonblast first, and then I'm probably going to go into Virizion. And what's kind of nice here is I only have to worry about X-Scissors. So I'm not too threatened by the charge moves here. And I also know that there's a Swampert as well. So, like, there's probably no way he comes in with the Swampert against Virizion. So it'll allow me to see what's in the back and go from there. Leaf Blade lands. He is going to get off another X-Scissor. That's fine. We should live. Hopefully we can double kick down before he gets to another. And we can. That's huge. What's in the back? It is a Clefable. And immediately, I know the game's over. Because I can just double Leaf Blade. I actually decided to pivot Cress. That way I save a Leaf Blade for the Swampert. So I think either works here. But Golisopod does really well against Swampert. So that's the nice thing about this team. Is Swampert really has... oh, what am I talking about? I have Swampert, not Golisopod. We saw the Golisopod last game, right? And this game. I had Golisopod on my mind. And I've also been running Golisopod on my other team, so apologies for that. Confused myself. But, yeah. Swampert, of course, we have the Mirror, and then our other 2 Pokemon do pretty well. So Swampert doesn't really have a target on this team. Sometimes I use that phrase, like a target. I guess this is a little bit awkward still. So I decided to just throw Leaf Blade to guarantee I get a shield. And I've got Swamp against Swamp up a shield, but he started with a move. So this is a little bit concerning for me. Don't think it's completely over yet. I build up to EQ. I go for the Hydro Cannon. And we actually got the shields. That's big. And I still have both of my shields to hide behind, so we're obviously just going to double up on our shields. And I'm just going to go for the Earthquake, and they top left. Probably would have barely not KO'd, but I think he recognized the Earthquake plus fast moves would have been enough before he got to 2 more Hydro Cannons. Next battle, Mr. Ashish. Terrific battler. Another Swampert, dude. That like 3 Swamperts in a row or something? I finally swapped Virizion into Ampharos. I had the bad habit with this team. When I was saying Ampharos swap, I kept swapping Swampert. And it's like not that comfortable for Swampert if they shield. If they like shield an Earthquake and land Focus Blast, they can flip it. So Virizion, I think, is definitely the better, more consistent response here. I did get Zap Cannon, but that's okay. Ampharos does get off a move here, but I know this isn't enough to be anything threatening. Just a brutal swing. We've got a lot of energy. He comes in with Swampert, and I'm like, what on earth? What on earth? Then comes in with Dragonite. I don't know what that was. Maybe he like expected me to do a double kick first. Maybe he like expected me to do a double kick so he could do like 1 mud shot and then catch Leaf Blade on Dragonite. I don't know. Or maybe he didn't think I had, wait. Oh no, I revealed Leaf Blade against Ampharos, so he knew I had Leaf Blade. Anyway, just a tough team for Ashish to overcome there. And here we go. Carlos, I think this is the final battle of the video. Dude, another Swampert lead. It's like the anti-Swampert team. Finally, a Swampert player that's staying in, though. So let's see how this plays out. Because this could be concerning, right? Because if there's a Swampert lead, you would think they have some Virizion coverage in the back, which could be tough for our team. We draw a shield from the Moonblast. And I also know how good Swampert is up shield, so I'm not too concerned here. I'm willing to just kind of play out this matchup, not commit any shields on my end, because if I come in with Viriz, he's probably going to swap out and give me switch advantage, and then maybe I can hard punish him. I come in with Viriz. He comes in Wall Rain, and that's fine too, because I can stay in here. This is perfectly fine for Virizion, and I'm also going to predict that whatever's in the back is going to counter the Virizion. So at this point, I'm just willing to probably play out the zeros here. I just throw right away, nothing too fancy. If he lets this go, his switch timer is still going to be locked for a bit, so I'm getting ready to potentially swap here. Could it be like a Charizard in the back? That would make sense. Oh no, it's a Trevenant. Shoot. Rise. What do you do against a Trevenant? It's tough, man. But we're going to fight it out. Why am I staying in? I should have swapped Swampert there. I don't know if it would have mattered, but... Well, I guess it's like in Hydro round. Oh, this isn't over. This isn't over. Oh, maybe it is. Oh, I just kind of gave up. Huh. Was that over? I still had both my shields. Huh. What do you guys think? Do you think I called that too early? Well, to be fair, the opposing Swampert had a lot of energy, so I think it was over. I think I recognized, let's say I somehow double shield, get rid of Trevenant, then his Swampert had a boatload of energy. So maybe I kind of gave up too soon there, but it seemed like a pretty dominant position for our opponent. That was the end of the streak. Because that was, what, 9 straight, and I had a 5-0 before that the previous day. So a 14-game winning streak. Might have even been more, because I forget what the set was before. And then here I was just kind of showing off my my 2 Shundos. Playing since 2016, man, and 2 Shundos to show for it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.